Greetings everyone, I hope you're doing well, and for this one I'm testing Outcast 1.1. So jumping to the settings, they are only available from the launcher, and in display settings you can see that I use full screen natively. Resolution is of course at 4K, and the rest are really not important except one option, which is max voxel threads, and in this case I'll use the maximum value, which is 8. But I also test the default option, which is all threads. So while talking about it, let's test it out. So for the performance test, I use side-by-side comparison, 8 CPU threads versus all CPU threads, which is 32 in my case. And you can see that the FPS is quite the same, but not the 1% and 0% lows. So the best option is to use 8 CPU threads instead of all, because the frame time stability is much better with that option. Also, I haven't filmed it, but in the initial tutorial island or planet, I'm not sure, the performance with all CPU threads is much worse, around 22% lower than with 8. So depending on the world you're playing in, the performance can be a lot worse with all CPU threads, the default value. So for the main gameplay I decided to use the 8 CPU threads option. Now, because recently Outcast 2 has been launched, I decided to start from the first one, or almost from the first one. This is almost the remastered version of the original Outcast game. Now you might be thinking why the performance is so bad, because the game is ancient. Well, first of all, this is a recompiled version, so basically updated or remastered, if you can call that. And secondly, this game is entirely CPU limited, and the resolution directly affects CPU performance, not GPU performance. So this is one of those very rare games where it happens. Previously I have tested Wolfenstein 3D, which is a source part, and it was called EC-Wolf. And it used software rendering. So basically it doesn't have hardware acceleration like almost every single other game. And for example, if I use 720p, the performance will be way better, like in hundreds of FPS if not more. And at 4K resolution, it becomes way more intensive, as you can see here. So the EC-Wolf and this game shares the same phenomenon, which is software rendering. So depending on the resolution, your CPU will be directly responsible for that, not your GPU. Now personally, I discovered this game quite a while ago, but I got a free game which was a remake of the original, not this one, but the different version. It was called Outcast the Second Contact, which was based on Unity 5, so it looks and plays quite differently than this one. So I decided to include this one, and I will also test the Second Contact version. Of course, lastly I will test Outcast 2, which was released very recently, and obviously it looks way better than any version of this one, which was built on Unreal Engine 4 still. So it's going to be interesting to test how the CPU performs and how the GPU performs. Now the original version of this game is very old and has a lot of issues. Among those is that it's limited to 30 FPS. So I decided to skip that. So yeah, I'll leave you to the gameplay. As always, thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye bye for now.
Let go! Almost done!